Boom Shaka. You're right, baby. You're just over there going a little bit psychotic
I'm
on the old
still
Instagram.
annoyed.
What's going on?
I'm annoyed with COVID.
Oh, right, yeah.
I've fucking had enough of it.
What is COVID? I keep hearing things that...
Does anybody want to scream with me? Right. As long as you're not going to frighten your neighbours or your friends. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, do bear that in mind. Sure that won't worry Kiki in the slightest.
She's used to me being her mother.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
I think you should shut the back door if you're going to be that loud, babe.
Who else is just pissed, just plain old pissed off?
Wendy Stewart says
with
scream.
COVID. Ugh. I've got a headache, got a toothache. Good moaning, good moaning, good moaning. Good moaning, groaning. I don't know if any of you were here yesterday. I was saying how Lisa thinks this is called, my friend Lisa thinks this is called your moaning and groaning thingy you do in the morning. What's your moaning and groaning? This will look nice for your moaning and groaning thing in the morning.
Nice. Why is this on the...
What is it?
Why is this just here?
What is it?
What do you think it
What is it?
It's just there.
Where's it come from? Huh? Where was it? Oh, the dogs have picked it up. Yeah, toffee bricks. Oh, it's just the windows look so dirty. Mark won't let me open. I want to open the doors because the windows are too dirty and he doesn't want to because the neighbours will hear us. It does make...
I don't want these guys hearing us, but everyone else.
We don't mind the 20,000 people that will eventually watch this watching us, but not the neighbours. Look at the state of my windows. I'm going to have to clean them now.
We've also got a Messiah living locally. We don't want him to hear us.
Faith saying thank you for our How to Stay Married so far. Well, maybe we should start with that this morning. Mental health. Our mental health isn't great today, guys, as you might have picked up.
Well, I'm at a lower ebb. I tell you what my analogy is of how yeah, I'm going to, Ben.
Oh, sorry.
This bloody doggy door. Come on.
We're in a really bad mood today.
Just leave that door shut.
I didn't open it.
Yes, you bloody did. We've got proof. Right. Yesterday we did a How to Stay Married about living with mental health from Nadia's perspective and from my perspective in marriage and all that. We talk about it a hell of a lot, sometimes to the point that I want to chop my own head off. But it's very important for us and it seems to be very important for you, which is why we do it. If I'm honest, towards the end of the chat last night, How to Stay Married, if you probably see it or come up after this, I kind of literally, in the process of the conversation, came to a sort of decision or a realization that, you know, I've been on meds twice in my life and I've not wanted to do it again and that basically, you know, perhaps this is going to happen again. And it feels like, where my energy levels feel like I've been running a marathon at full sprint for the last almost year and a half. And I'm feeling that sort of physical and emotional and spiritual exhaustion where you kind of go, give up. And it is a feeling of giving up, but I'm not a giver-upper. And so it really, really tugs against me. And it's about reframing it and not seeing it as giving up. Now, I mean, that is a parallel for everyone individually going through this crisis, really.
Lots of people there saying they feel exhausted by their mental health. Well, that's why we did that chat yesterday with it being World Mental Health Day. And
I feel like I'm trying to outrun my mental health all the time. And what's happening is in a sprint, you're seeing it come alongside you. And not only is it coming alongside you, it's doing that annoying thing in a race where it's going ahead of you and you're going, I haven't got anything left.
Jackie Villino, thank you. And I read your beautiful message yesterday. I read all your messages under that vlog we did yesterday. So
Sue
thank
Wood's
you.
not having a great Sunday. I think it's also partly, partly the reason we're struggling today is, you know, it's like you spoke to your sister Dina, who works in a school. I've heard various people in television talking about the fact that it feels like we're on the cusp of another big move.
Well, there's going to be an announcement tomorrow, and if you think about it, every time we have one of these announcements coming towards us, because the goddamn government leaks stuff to the press on a Friday, so then people have a weekend of trying to work out what's going to happen. And this never being sure is very difficult for everybody's mental health, because we're all trying to look after our mental health. You know, it's like we were saying yesterday, it's different between mental illness and mental health. You know, and we are all struggling with our mental health at the moment. Yeah. And those with a mental illness is piled up on top of that. So, you know, it's that, you know, yeah. But anyway, I think I've been, you know, listening to CNN and listening to everything this morning. And you cannot deny, whoever you vote for, that this government has fucked it up, right? Because before we all then run to, as we have, because we've all wanted to be kind and understanding in an unbelievably difficult situation, before we run to, this is a pandemic like no other, and everyone's been caught on the hoof, and nobody knows what they're doing. That simply isn't true now. That simply isn't true, because New Zealand, Vietnam, who has a population of 98 million, South Korea, I wrote a list actually, Taiwan, these countries are back to normal. Turkey has done brilliantly. Italy is doing really well. We are not, and I was listening to the global, a professor from Edinburgh University's global public health, and she was saying she's been on a lot right from the beginning of lockdown. She was one of the ones that was warning the government like 2 years ago to prepare for this pandemic. And she said, now there is no excuse. They are not looking at other countries and seeing how they are managing to suppress this virus. They can't be, because they're not putting any of the things into action that are working in other countries. And she said she said the only reason to have lockdowns is to give yourself a pause and a moment to work out what you're going to do next. Now, they should have locked down for another week in the summer. Everyone kind of felt that. They knew they lifted the lock. But we all wanted to come out. So we were all like, yeah, this is a really good idea. This is great. So she said another week or two of lockdown in the summer. And then during the summer, they should have got completely prepared with their track and trace in the way that all those other countries I just mentioned, and there are many more, have got it down pat. Apparently, these private companies that are running our track and trace, nobody even had to bid for it. These were handed to them.
One was the friend of the Northern Irish minister.
And apparently this has cost billions. Is that? I mean, that's what she said today on Sky. I've only heard 35 million. She said billions. I don't know. But she said we are throwing good money after bad with this track and trace system. It's not working. And then we all get punished by having these lockdowns, she said, which will do nothing except just the virus just waits till we come back out again. And, oh, you're okay, here you all are.
Well, I mean, it's like your friend Richard Madeley said. You take all the cars off the road, there won't be any car accidents. You put all the cars back on.
There's going to be a car accident.
Yeah. Fiona Cargius, I haven't seen your name too often. Hello. Italy
Hello,
are doing
Fiona.
well because kids are not allowed in school without a negative test result. That's interesting.
Well, they have lots of different things in place, don't they?
But that is interesting.
They do, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I can't second guess what the next move's going to be, if I'm honest. There's loads of people going for herd immunity. Then there's loads of quite compelling, very compelling arguments
Can I
against
just
herd
finish one
immunity.
thing?
Yeah, go for
just
it.
one other thing that all these other countries are doing that she put a lot of store in is that they closed their borders and there weren't people going in and out on holiday. And it's painful. We all want to go on holiday. But I think they've got to close the borders and say, no holidays. This could go on for bloody years, you know, if not.
Well, I don't even feel that there's the defence of protecting the, the aerospace
you're
industry
not.
because actually it's been a limping, pathetic endeavour. And they're struggling hand over fist. EasyJet is about to go, is declaring the biggest loss ever. I think almost $1 billion, 885 million or something. God, how do I know
And that was the other thing that she said. No other country said, go out, eat out. Restaurants are one of the highest transmission places.
Yeah. I mean, we all liked it. We all wanted it. Everyone wanted it because we were all desperate for those little crumbs of freedom. But it's beginning to look in the rearview mirror like
we were absolute morons. And on CNN today, they were saying how the UK and America are the two ones that have completely buffooned the whole thing up.
Now, this is going to sound
So
brutal.
pissed
If
off
I was going to make a decision on what to do,
Sorry.
if they're going to do a circuit breaker, they need to have the courage of their convictions. And I hate to say it, I think it has to be a national one. I think if you're going to do it, you have to put the brakes on hard. I think you have to ban all travel. And I think you do it in the run-up to Christmas so that you take some of the pressure off the emergency services running into Christmas.
Some people are saying that they think that's what they are going to do.
Now, but I don't think we're doing that. I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think it's becoming increasingly the necessary thing to do because it feels so spectacularly out of control. A track and trace is where this was at. And to be honest, Nadia's been bemoaning that point right from the beginning. Get the track and trace right, everything else starts to slot into place.
But that's where all
Hi,
the
Nanny
countries-
Di.
I mean, in New Zealand, they've got their rugby bloody nationals back on. I mean, you know what happens in New Zealand? Well, in all these countries, if you go out of the country, and this is what happens in China as well, you have to be in isolation in a facility. So you know that if you go on holiday, when you come back, you're going to be in a facility for 14 days. Now, I know a number of people that are very frustrated with their siblings, being careful so I don't say who these people are, who are, who said to them recently, it's two separate people that I know, and their siblings are going on holiday, and they said, oh, but what about the 14 days when you get back? They went, I'm not going to do that. And that's how it is here. Yeah. People don't do it because they don't have to do it, and they can get away with it. I mean, that bloody Scottish minister today saying, oh, well, it was a bit of a blip. She's refusing to resign, Yeah.
Kate Norman Hybrid World Art Track Trace app has only
Raging
contacted one person out of all the millions who downloaded the app. Proof that this app has nothing to do with virus. We are in a coup. Oh, crikey. So what do you think they should do? But not in terms of what they should have done, not in terms of what could have been done. What do you think? Because if I was presented with the dilemma that we're in now, as if this was a fresh situation that needed a fresh set of eyes and
with all that we know
with
now,
all that we know.
because we didn't at the beginning when everything was fucking up. Everything was excusable, everything, because nobody knew. We have half a dozen, seven or so countries that have suppressed this virus and are almost back to 100% what they were. Why are we not going? Is it an arrogance?
Yes.
Is it an arrogance that we're going to do it our way?
Yeah, I think there is. I also think, well, anyway, so in terms of what I think needs to happen now, and I say this with a heavy heart, is that you need a 4-week to 6-week complete lockdown, complete cessation of all international travel. You stop everything. You allow those who can go to work, but that's the only thing. You go into a complete lockdown. And in that time, the only way you do it in that time is that you get track and tracing running.
Yeah, there's no point them doing a lockdown. If when we
because
come out,
yeah.
we're going to have exactly the same shit track and trace.
You only
There's
do the
no
lockdown.
point.
You only do the lockdown if you give an absolute cast iron guarantee to the population that this is the time we have as a government to fix the track and tracing and to have a system in place.
We've massively fucked up with the track and trace, right? Sorry, guys. And we'll go, okay, we understand. Now you're being honest with us. We understand. Okay. All right. We're going to have to lock you down for a few weeks. Hell for the economy. Hell for children that are this is the problem that they're thinking of. They're thinking about, people that are in a violent home, children that are neglected, all this. They have to protect those people and they have to protect people. The other thing is in countries where they tell people not to work and they support them financially because people are now putting false names down anyway when they go in somewhere because they say, oh my God, I'll get done and I won't be able to go to work. The whole thing.
I think university students
a joke.
We've left an entire young generation cleft between home and no university education because they're not getting a one-on-one university education. Faith Goodman just asked, what do we do about the university students if we were to do that? I think you have to...
They'd have to stay there,
They'd have to stay in lockdown for the 6 weeks or, that is a whole separate problem. We were saying from the outset when universities went back, is it right? Is it really right for them to be going back? It didn't feel right. And numerous friends of Maddie's decided to step back from making the decision to go to university this year. I think very, very wisely. very wisely.
But I mean, there's no point doing a lockdown unless when we come out of lockdown, there is a sufficient track and trace.
I feel a little bit like...
Otherwise, we might as well not do it.
Yeah, I feel a bit like the teacher going, you're going into detention, but you're going into detention only if you get your maths homework done. You know, the whole point of detention is you come in here now and you get your maths homework done. So really, they just need to do their bloody maths homework.
Yes, Kim. And if people feel in danger, they must isolate. If you feel too vulnerable, I mean, like at the moment, I'm feeling really weird because I hate all this stuff they keep going on about overweight people. I'm just thinking, God, I don't want to go anywhere. I just don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah. Karen R., the BMA have released a paper on what we should do next. It should be followed. What do they say? Lee Barber.
Well, what they're saying, no, I've read that. What they're saying is that they think that we should wear masks inside, outside, in the office, everywhere.
Yeah, they don't mean wearing a mask if you're on your own in a deserted forest.
No, but
that's about
I wouldn't
the
be at all
only
bloody
place.
surprised if that's what we get to.
Well, no, I the other day I was outside and I saw a squirrel. It had a mask on.
Hi, Sharona. That's very sweet.
It had a mask on.
Who did?
The squirrel. It seriously. It had it flipped round its ears. Anyway, we're sure as hell going to find out tomorrow, aren't we? Mark?
Last night in London was
Oh my God, they were playing cricket in the streets of
That was in
Peckham.
Peckham. In Soho
fancy
and
going down and joining
Piccadilly,
them.
they were singing. It was like party time, and the police couldn't even break it up. But you see,
Anyway.
they were very strict, I suppose, in these
Yeah.
other countries in the way that we're not.
So is there any good news, someone's asking? Okay, well look, Boris, the Tory government are now having to, I think this is hysterical, speed date Biden. Because essentially it looks like Biden's going to win by a landslide. It's going to be an enormous victory. Now, of course, Nancy Pelosi and Biden are anti the whole issue with Brexit and the hard border and the issues with trade with Southern Ireland and Northern Ireland. They've said there's going to be no deal. So now suddenly our government finds themselves in a bit of a pincer situation where they're negotiating with Europe about Brexit, but they now need to quite quickly ingratiate themselves with the Biden incoming Biden administration. So we're now going to see sycophancy on a level you've never ever seen before.
But they'll be really nervous just in case Trump suddenly does pull.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if he pulls the October.
Oh my God, they'll be like, oh no, we've got to jump back in the Trump
It's
boat.
always an amusing moment when you see whatever the government in this country is when it becomes, the US election. It happened at the last one, didn't it? Where I think that Boris and the Tories were all kind of criticising Trump, thinking this was an absolute lunacy. And then as soon as he started to become a likely winner, it's like, oh, well, okay, yes, we can get this. It is quite funny seeing how ordinary governments try and then ingratiate, in what an ordinary way they do it. Oh, God, by the way, we didn't mean that. Didn't mean that at all. Didn't mean that at all. Love it. Love everything you're doing. Brilliant. So basically the Tories are going to be speed dating Biden, trying to
Welcome,
win him
Wendy
over.
Stewart.
Wendy Stewart. Where's Wendy Stewart? Oh, there we are. So glad I have you talking live. Great company. Oh. Now, Matt Hancock got into a bit of a... Was Matt Hancock spending too long in a bar at the House of Commons?
Well, he's since denied it.
I've called
but
it
the
Matt Hancock's half hour. Does anyone remember?
The story was that he went in at 9:40, bought a glass of Sauvignon, said this is on Public Health England, basically, for the mess up with the...
Right.
He made a dark joke. And apparently, they said he was still there at 10:20. He has denied that.
Yeah.
But this joke that he made about Public Health England footing the bill for this glass of wine, I can just... And I'm no fan of Matt Hancock. But I can just hear people going crazy about him making this comment.
Jean Tootel says, don't you mean twat Hancock?
Twat Hancock. But what I would say is, I hate all the virtue signalling. And, in times of trial, can you imagine the actual stress that they are all under? The government, they're under enormous stress. Love them or hate them, they are.
Yes.
And I think...
If they were normal human...
No,
yes.
but I think do you not think he just made this joke just because it's like, oh, God,
Look,
another bloody thing's gone
absolutely.
wrong?
I'm all up
I
for
don't
the
think we
fact
should
that
be too judgy about it.
I totally agree. I think under normal circumstances, it would help if he wasn't such a supercilious, oily
He is
rag.
a bit oily.
He's a really supercilious fucker.
Karen
Sorry.
C. Mark and Nads have a duvet day. Hot chocolate, fairy lights, and a great film.
But we wouldn't be able to agree on films. Nadia would want to
so
watch something
much
like
to do.
Grease. I wouldn't want to watch Grease.
I don't. Will you stop saying that? You try and make out that I don't love good films.
No, I don't. I'm just
You
saying you'd
all,
like to
Mark,
relax.
you've literally.
To relax.
I've watched Grease 3 times in my entire life.
What
make
would you like to watch
the
to
last
relax?
thing
What would you like to watch
on
to relax?
the living planet? I would want to watch today's Grease.
Oh, okay, that's good. Look, we were never asked. Says
Shouldn't
all
ask.
four skins matter.
What are you talking about? Oh.
Couldn't agree more. Selena Lou, Selena, I know. I'm so sorry that you lost. You know, you had terrible news, and we're sending you all of our love. I bet you are feeling very shaky.
Oh, it's so awful.
Can everyone send a big virtual hug to Selena Lou Fogg?
That she's been through a lot recently.
A lot. Nanny Bluebell's asking if you could make an easy. Well, of course, this is going to be the first year we'll be doing the Sunday show into Christmas. Because obviously it started in January.
Will it fall on a Sunday? Christmas.
I don't know.
What day is Christmas this year, guys?
Minky Moo says we need a walk in
Do you
the
want
hills.
me to show you? I do need a walk.
Oh, Minky Moo, I like your name.
A 2-hour walk would sort out most of my problems.
We love your name, Minky Moo.
I wish I lived somewhere beautiful.
Yeah.
But nowhere nice to walk.
Gabrielle's making your Black Forest Gatto from last weekend's Sunday show.
This is this week's Sunday.
Oh my lord, guys. If you're not a member, become one, because that is going to make you I'm just finishing editing it as we speak. As soon as I come off this, I go back into edit.
And the chicken pie. Oh my God.
Oh, Nad, someone's just said something that really appeals to me. 4 words.
What?
Pemberley 64 has just said,
Oh, yes.
come to Australia, guys.
I want to.
Part of me would like to migrate.
Emigrate.
Emigrate,
You want
even.
migrate?
Yeah, emigrate to Australia. Do you remember how wonderful Sydney was? Do you remember the vibe,
I want
the
to go
feel?
to Australia. But do they have tsunamis?
Do you remember how wonderfully chilled and laid
Got a
back the
terrible
Aussies
drought
were?
problem.
Guys.
If it wasn't for the kids, I'd say let's go.
Bad case of the geographical.
If it wasn't for the kids, I'd say let's go. Let's emigrate to Australia. But what skill have
we
we
could
got?
take you with us.
We haven't got a skill. I haven't got a
Oh,
skill.
we're talking shit all the time. That's what we do. We are
Christmas
doing
Day is
lasagna,
Friday.
banoffee pie, fire and film. Oh, Minky Moo.
Oh, Minky Moo.
Nicholas Sinnott.
Oh,
Big shout
I want
out.
to do that.
Jennifer Cando. We could pack Nanny Di into a very small hold all. Pop her in the hand luggage.
Thing is, we're not going to be doing it. We're just dreaming.
Yeah, we are just dreaming. The vibe, the feel, the Lior. Ah, Lior. That's a good strap line. You should have a T-shirt made of that. Okay, it is a struggle to find good news today, but Nadia,
It
you
really
were ranting
is.
like a nutter
And anyway,
about
I'm in a bad mood.
About obesity, because they're bringing obesity up again, and as Ashley just
So
said,
annoying.
they're banging on about people who are overweight, and they've encouraged us all to eat out and help out. Get it straight. So
I sometimes don't even know if we should discuss this when it comes up, because I know that there are a lot of us on here that are overweight, and I say us because I am probably 2 stone more than I should be for my BMI. I think you have to be 25, a waist of 25.
Right.
And then now they're saying it's not just obese, it's overweight. Massively increased. So I was just fed up with that today, and just made me want cake. Really made me want cake.
Did it?
Yeah.
The US is planning to open an air bridge between London and New York next month. That might appeal to Nanny Di. Jeremy Clarkson is always good for a... Right, shall we have a bit of fun? Jeremy Clarkson appears in Maddie's funny memes today. Quite shocking. I couldn't believe what he did. God, I'm beginning to look like Jeremy Clarkson. Jeremy Clarkson's selling candles that smell like his bollocks on his farm to rival Gwyneth Paltrow's goop.
Oh, God.
That is funny. I'm sorry, that is funny. Watch out, Gwyneth Paltrow. You have a new business rival in the form of Jeremy Clarkson and his diddly squat farm. He's selling candles that smell like bollocks.
The great smell of scrotum, that's funny.
You're joking. Oh my God. Jeremy's seen taking a big whiff of the purple candle on his Instagram before declaring the great smell of scrotum. I didn't think I'd be aligned with him on anything, but thank God he's kind of said something like that. That's quite funny. But that really, this smells like, oh, her candle actually says this smells like my vagina. Is she all right? It's a very odd thing to want to sell.
She takes the piss
Is she taking
whilst
the piss?
at the same time taking millions of dollars.
Is
So you
she
tell
taking?
me.
Is she taking the piss?
You tell
though?
me if she's all right.
Is she taking the? Would anyone buy his scrotum candle? Yes or no?
Oh, God, loads of people will because it's funny. Don't you think?
Kanye West has been spotted in London.
Oh,
Has he broken quarantine
he's a
rules?
good-looking man, isn't he? He's got a great... Their children are so beautiful.
He'd
Alongside his 7-year-old daughter, North.
Yeah. All arrivals from the US are required to complete a 2-week quarantine. Oh, was he observing the quarantine? Oh dear. So I'm just having a little scroll through to see if there's any good news.
There isn't. I spent the entire morning looking for some.
Well,
There's no...
Oh, I tell you what,
North Korea have got a brilliant, massive new missile, international missile.
oh, have they? Oh no, he's got an extra large one,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
he's done an extra large missile.
Do you think Kim Jong-un is selling candles that smell of his missiles? Missiles smelling candles.
Okay, guys, give us some ideas. If you had your own celebrity candle, what would it smell of?
Yeah, Linda Little. I love the alliteration of your name. Welcome as a family
to
guest.
the family guest.
You're going to be able to learn how to make those millionaire biscuit type thingies.
Linda Little. You've got 40 episodes
Well,
to
including
watch.
today's, yeah, absolutely. Baby's head. Oh, that's nice, Minky Moo. You always used to say that.
Oh,
Tell them what you used to say.
baby's head. It's my favourite smell. Or cut grass and baking bread.
Nadia used to say my neck smelt of...
Baby sick. It does a bit.
Does it? Do you think that was a smell of youth? We need a national hug. Georgina Duffy, that's... Oh, no, yeah, but then we break bloody... Oh, God, you can't even have a national
Look,
hug.
Nanny Adderley, Diane Adderley. Guys, everyone wants the Cornish videos. Release them, Nanny Di.
I sometimes envisage Nanny
Do you
Di
know
sat
what?
at the
I
top of an
really
ivory
think
tower.
we should release them. Why don't we do them alternate days for Vlogmas?
It's a suggestion.
One day Vlogmas, one day Cornwall, one day Vlogmas.
Bareback
one day-
Barbarians, Wet Dog.
And we can just
a
say
good candle.
this was filmed at a previous time,
Yeah.
which it was.
Yeah. My dog's feet smell like wheat pigs. Henrietta
Glad you
Henson.
shared that with us, Henrietta.
No, I love when you get connections like that. I know exactly what you mean. Your dog's
James
feet.
Flanagan said, who would want to smell his bollocks, but I'd love to set fire to his wick.
Oh,
That
that's
was
very,
very
funny.
funny.
Very funny. I'm gonna find one more positive news story.
People Mark, the news is really bad at the moment.
I'm
Why
gonna
don't we
find-
release some Vlogmas?
I'm gonna find some fun news. I'm gonna find you some fun news.
Oh, that's some nice baby news. Let's listen.
Gigi Hadid. Oh, it's a bit boring.
That's the
And
baby.
her daughter pay tribute to Auntie Bella.
Bella, she's another
Yawn. Who's
model.
Bella? I don't care
She's
about
another
these people with
supermodel.
weird eyebrows. No. There's nothing. Oh my God.
There is nothing.
Oh, it's been confirmed again that the farmers are putting Christmas turkeys on a strict diet.
Oh God!
I'll tell you what we'll do. When we
I can't take anymore.
We've got the news headlines to do for the Sunday show. We will force ourselves. Let's vow.
God,
it might be
can't
short.
bear it.
No, it might be short, but we will vow to avoid all coronavirus stories.
Well, what will we talk about?
Well, whatever isn't coronavirus.
All right.
Yeah, the Daily Star on Sunday is brilliant
Okay.
for non-coronavirus.
Okay,
stories.
so we will do non-coronavirus stories on the No Name Sunday show
Yeah,
today.
that's what we're going to do. All right, guys. Well, look, I better crack on, otherwise there won't be a Sunday
I'm
show.
sorry, it's just miserable. There isn't any. And you know what? I'd love it if sometimes, wouldn't you? If newsreaders went, do you know what? I'm really effing pissed off with all this news. I've got nothing good here to tell you. Nothing.
I wish they'd jump up and reveal that they're wearing tutus and then break into a dance.
Maybe that's what... Come on, let's do a quick tap dance.
Oh, look,
for
James Flanagan, please don't go, because I've vowed that I won't get up out of bed until we're finished. I think. Have a lovely Sunday. And
Oh, Dawn's in hospital with kidney stones.
Oh,
Can't have visitors. Missing my little girl so much, but been watching
old Sunday
shows. As Toffee and Chi-Chi always cheers me up a little.
it's a very sweet
Dawn,
Who Let
that's
the Dogs Out
rotten.
today. Very sweet Who Let the
Oh,
Dogs Out
can we
today.
send a virtual hug to Dawn as well?
Bats are devoid of vitamin D, so get it in sun. Bats.
Get your vitamin D, guys. Look up vitamin D. Go to Dr. John Campbell on YouTube. Listen to his very in-depth reports on vitamin D and the power of it, and then make your own decision.
Someone suggested that maybe we should read the news but change the word coronavirus to something ridiculous.
Oh.
Like panty bloomers.
Oh, bloomers. Oops, there goes my bloomers.
Every time-
Oh, let's have a banana.
You say, oops, they're going with bloomers. I'll say, let's have a banana every time that coronavirus comes up in the Sunday
Or my
news.
Mary.
Are you going to flash your Mary again?
Every time it says coronavirus, you could just say Mary.
Flash your Mary. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Flashed your Mary. I think it's the stage thing.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, guys, lots of love. We tried to find some good news. We literally scrolled through everything and
begging
there's
for the
none.
Cornwall vlogs.
Oh,
God, it's
guys.
breaking my heart.
Well,
Yeah,
soon.
and zinc and vitamin C. That's what I take. Vitamin D, zinc, and vitamin C. And I take collagen. And I take... What else do I take?
Crack.
I take
She smokes crack from
echinacea. I
a
take
pipe.
echinacea.
You look good for a crack addict. She does. She looks good for, you know.
Well, it's what you put inside that shows on the outside.
Oh, and by the way, if you want to know what we did last night after our enormous bombshell of a mental health chat on how to stay married, we sat and watched 3 episodes of Selling Sunset.
And
It's
it just-
so addictive.
It just turned our brain to mulch.
It literally, frazzled my brain.
Cornish vlogs.
Anyway, guys.
Cornish
Oh, look,
vlogs.
obesity in your 50s.
Cornish
Yeah, someone says we
vlogs.
haven't discussed it. What is the story there?
Okay, right. Well, so there
Thank you for
are
pointing that out.
rumblings.
Thank you.
There are rumblings. This isn't
And your
fact.
tumblings?
Rumblings in the tumblings. There have been
Thank you, Tedder
certain
girl.
scientists and doctors that are recommending that people over 50 with living with obesity and possibly other underlying health conditions should be shielded. The thing at the moment is nobody's being shielded. So they're talking about what is going to be the new shielding. They're talking about possibly some algorithm in doctors, because everything's on computer,
Bowels?
that can pick up a certain configuration of things that would
Right.
then say you need to shield. So it's not just if you're over 50 and if you're obese.
Right.
Though I would urge people to go to chat to your GP if you are living with obesity. It's an incredibly complex thing. It's not just a case of stopping eating and exercising. It's much more complex
absolutely.
about that.
Yeah.
But it is really worth getting some advice on that. Also, Katie Travers, BMI over 40 was high risk on our risk assessment at work. ICU nurse. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah.
So I do feel really... I feel sorry for myself as well, because today they're saying overweight as well. So...
Is this arbitrary or is this... Do you, you've said
Well,
for
she
a
just
long
said
time...
ICU nurse.
Yeah,
high
yeah.
risk, you're put on the high risk if you have a BMI of over 40.
There's a lot of merit in saying we all need to try and get fitter. But I think we're missing the point if we think it's just simply a case of just not eating, don't we?
Well,
it's
this
such a
is it.
psychological,
It's such a massive
emotional
thing.
It's a fundamental
I
thing.
think I need to do another one of my films on
I do,
overeating
I do.
because it's so difficult to, if you're somebody that uses food as a comfort or a punishment,
Kyle Wallenberg.
it's very difficult.
Who can one go to for advice for obese people?
Well, if you're living with obesity, first port of call is to talk to your GP because there are lots of organisations now that are more au fait with how complex it is and the kind of support you need.
Does it make
There's
sense
lots
to
of
contact
support.
OA?
Well, I think first your GP because I think it's good, and then but also there's Overeaters Anonymous, which is an online group that follow the same. What would you say, philosophy as AA and CA and NA, and genuinely see overeating or undereating as a kind of addiction, not something that you can just stop, just switch off. And there's thousands of meetings of that, recorded ones that you can listen to.
And they're all on Zoom as well. You can
And they're
join
all
a
on
meeting
Zoom, and I really would recommend it if you're really
Yeah, a
struggling.
lot of people would love another chat about stinking thinking.
Stinking thinking. Actually, guys, can I just ask you something? I am going to be doing a T-shirt where 100% of the profits goes to it will probably be some mental health charity and maybe missing people because I'm now patron of the missing people after Maddie's friend went missing. So I'm doing these T-shirts, and I just wanted to know: do you usually go bigger than your size or smaller on your size? Do you like a scoop neck or a high neck? And I'm going to put a poll up on my Instagram, and I'd really love it if you would answer it. Do you think you would want to buy a T-shirt with a stinking thinking?
Entirely for
100% profits go to charity.
Yeah.
Bigger, everyone goes bigger.
Yeah.
Scoop,
Okay.
scoop. And nearly everyone's saying scoop. It's really interesting because I'm trying to keep the costs really low on what we're buying. But of course, as soon as you go to a scoop neck, the T-shirt's like for 100 it goes up. But I think, yes, everyone's scoop.
Okay. And also, just a little update on we are doing a second book delivery. 2 of the 10 people have requested that they do the book delivery as a virtual chat, a FaceTime, a private FaceTime. So we're looking forward to that. And then the other 6, one of whom's I think still in Aberdeen, we are obviously going to have to negotiate all of the local lockdowns and all that kind of malarkey to do. But the other 6, if you're here, I know you've requested that we come to you in person when and the circumstances allow.
When's it going into the vlog?
It's coming up. It's coming up. I'm editing them. The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're shooting another
That
one
needs
too.
to go into the next vlog. Come on.
Okay, guys. So
We need to see it.
Okay. So let's see you all later. Lots of love. Sunday show landing, and have a lovely day.
And if you want to join the members area, there's this little box underneath with join, and you just click on there and find out. And if you're just joining us for today, then hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. It's all free, and you get to be told every time we're going live. Bye, my lovelies.
Lots of love. Bye.